power. And that power is to look back into the past and talk to people. People who strangely look a lot like me, but with really bad moustaches. And ask them things. Let's go look back into the past, into the future and things to see the mysteries of Ella Fitzgerald. Hi everyone, I'm Ella's Aunt Virginia. Ella Jane was born on April 25th, 1917 in Newport News, Virginia. Hey. And what a lovely baby she was. Soon after Ella's birth, my sister Tempe and Ella's father separated. Tempe eventually moved with Joseph de Silva in Yonkers, New York. Frances, Ella's half-sister, was then born. Ella considered Joe her stepfather. Ella was a happy child. She would easily make friends in the mixed neighborhood that she lived in. Hi, it's Marilyn. I dyed my hair back to its natural color because I didn't feel like being a blonde anymore. Anyway, I know I've said that diamonds are a girl's best friend, but I'd like to contradict myself and say that Ella Fitzgerald is. Myself and Ella are like kindred spirits. We both had traumatic childhoods, and not to mention horrible first marriages, done just as soon as it started. Anyway, she never really told the press about her early life, but I knew, and well, I would do most of the talking about these things anyway. Ella was 15 years old when her mother died in 1932, and it really affected her. She left school to earn an income, traveling from one place to another, one being Brothel Outlook, which proved to be rather risky. She then ended up in a segregated reform school, which was anything but kind to her. Ella had it hard, and I understand that. I'd like to say I'm Ella's biggest fan. I got her into Macumber, after all, you know, the famous LA nightclub. Though she was ever so popular amongst us fans, clubs in the 50s didn't want anything to do with a big black woman who was plain in comparison to black singers like Eartha Kitt and Dorothy Dandridge. How vain of them. Anyway, all I had to do was promise to sit in the front row for a couple weeks with my Hollywood friends, and they signed her. I made sure to be there with Frank Sinatra and Judy Garland on opening night. It was marvelous. Besides, Ella didn't need all the fuss anyway. The crowd came naturally. Yes, they did. And that was the tipping point for her career. It really just went up from there. She never had to play a small jazz club again. The clubs always were a challenge for her. There was a time they couldn't let her walk through the front, forced to slip through in the side. I was so angry I refused to go inside unless we both went through the front. That sort of thing ended eventually. All the clubs treated Ella with the respect she deserved. Ella was always very good when it came to alcohol and drugs. She didn't do them. Neither did she sing songs about them. And, well, as you know, I do love a good puff or a good pull. And the difference really distanced us, I think. Although she did have a drug. Soap operas.
Ella had humble beginnings, working odd jobs, while her mother and stepfather worked blue-collar jobs. When Tempe died in 1932, I took Ella into my home. Shortly after, Joe passed and little Frances came to stay by me too. That was a very difficult period for Ella. She grew despondent at home, and her unhappiness was evident. Her grades were a good reflection of the hard times she was facing. She started skipping school too. One thing led to another, and Ella was sent to a reform school.
Reformatory wasn't any better, though. She suffered abuse by the caretakers and eventually fled at 15. She was left alone in the Great Depression. And yet, Ella made the best of her situation. Off stage, Ella was different from the vibrant Ella you see on stage. She was reserved and rather shy. She doubted herself constantly and how she looked. On stage, she was different. At home, that was her stage. Her stage was home. I'm old. What can I say? I don't know how to speak. She decided then she was meant to sing. Ella eventually got into contact with her famous future mentor Chick Webb, who she later succeeded by replacing the original male vocalist he had originally hired.
Hello there, I'm Norman Granz, renowned music producer and one of the greats when it comes to establishing the music industry in America, and I'm a man. Ella is really something else. One could describe her voice as incredibly flexible with a magnificent range and a voice that surpasses time. I met Ella through her husband, one of my musicians, Ray Brown. I encountered this woman and what a star quality she is. I convinced her to sign with me before she knew any better, and today Ella and I made her into the international superstar she is known as today. Under my management, I was able to use my connections to procure Ella connections with the greats. She did multiple albums with Louis Armstrong, which are beloved by her fandom. It was during 1956 to 1964 that Ella produced her 8 songbook series that include favorites like I've Got You Under My Skin and So In Love, Cheek to Cheek, Heat Wave, It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing, and so on. The albums were covers of musicians such as Cole Porter, Irving Berlin, the Gershwins, Rogers, and so on. Even Ira Gershwin said she's never known how good their songs were till Ella sang it. A testament to talent indeed. Ella frequently appeared on almost all the most popular television shows. Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald had quite a relationship on stage, as we know. Their collaboration garnered much attention. Ella received her Kennedy Center honors, and in 1987, Ronald Reagan, the president, awarded Ella the National Award of Arts, which I know is a special one for her. Ella, of course, has also received many honorary doctorates from Ivy League universities, and so I suppose she's Dr. Fitzgerald to me now. Hello everyone, it's Dizzy Gillespie here. I'm eternally grateful for your boundless enthusiasm. I started working with Ella Fitzgerald in the mid-1940s, 1947 to be exact. We intended to tour the South with Ella to make bebop more digestible to Southerners. Ella was largely recognized as a swing performer, which was polar opposites with what we had been creating. Ella started to develop her scatting skills during the performance with my band. In the beginning, it was hard for her to adjust. She was on the outside, but by tour's end, she was in. She got it, and it was another genre mastered by the First Lady of Song. Many tried and failed to cross the chasm of swing to bebop, but none succeeded, none but one, which is Ella. Ella enjoyed her time in my band. For one, she met Ray Brown, who she married for a time. Ella and Ray adopted a child who they called Ray Jr., but soon they got divorced after their marriage, yet stayed friends for the entirety of their lives. Ella's busy tour schedules caused a drift between her son and her, although they would later reconcile, as Ray Jr. so aptly said. He felt that she did the best that she could given the circumstances. Lady Ella didn't sacrifice her personal life in vain, however. She was the first black woman to to receive a Grammy Award, a tremendous achievement in this time. Ella's health took a decline in 1986. Ella underwent a coronary bypass surgery. Ella was then diagnosed with diabetes, which was said to be the cause of her failing eyesight. Her diabetes worsened, resulting in a double leg amputation. Ella, being Ella, still performed when she could, and then after the surgery. She never truly recovered, but enjoyed her days in the sun with her son and her granddaughter. Ella Fitzgerald died on June 15th, 1996, at 79 years old in her Beverly Hills home. She was honored a mere hours later by fans all over the world mourning her great loss. We salute you, Ella.